most of brands do kit lenses. The lenses which come with the camera, usually a bit lower spec, but you can buy them cheaper when you buy them with the camera. No difference with Lumix. Lumix 20 to 60mm f3.5 to f5.6 kit lens. That's what it is. This is the lens that most of us don't use. Frankly, I had it since the beginning, since the first S5, and I never used it until recently. I started shooting with this and I am very surprised. This lens is much better than you think. So in this video I'm going to talk about what this lens is good for, how it performs photography and video, and tell you more about it. What perception is why this lens is inferior is because its aperture f3.5 at 20mm to f5.6 when you zoom in to the 60mm, but it's not really a problem, and this focal range makes this lens suitable for so many different shooting scenarios. It is a really good focal range. 20mm gives you the very wide angle for architecture, landscape and vlogging, everything else you want to get more in the frame, and a 60 is really decent zoom to get closer to your action. Also anything in between gives you that standard 50mm, 40mm focal range for natural looking shots. This aperture as well theoretically makes it a daytime lens. It's not a fast performing low light lens, but today's camera I'm filming with S5II, S5 as well. The base ISO is 400 and 4000 ISO. At 4000 ISO you can do miracles at night with a lens like this. You can actually compensate with the high ISO settings for the lack of faster performance and the wide apertures. Sharpness, because of those small apertures, they keep everything in check. It is a very sharp lens most of the time. I think it's focusing motor mechanism sometimes lets it down. It's also slightly soft around the edges. Not a big problem at all for the lens like this, and for what you're gonna use it, it's just normal for the lens like this. What's really impressive is the fact that there is almost no chromatic aberration. There is some, but totally well below average, mainly due to those not so wide apertures. Also flaring is well under control too. No problems shooting with it towards strong light sources. What really makes this lens unique or special is that focal range. It is a very versatile lens. It could be just the one lens for everything, which I do personally use when I travel because I have to carry less with me. Just one lens to cover that wide angle and the zoomed in perspective, and for portraits, street photography and everything else in between, it just does it all. If you worry that the small apertures don't give you enough subject to background separation, they won't. It's not going to be ever as pronounced as with the wide aperture primes, but here you get something called zoom compression. So more you zoom in and closer you get to your subject, more background blur you're going to get, and it is okay. You can't create that professional look quite easily if you use it right. Color and contrast are really good too, very punchy and totally on par with much more expensive or even pro lenses. Is it a lens for video? Definitely great for vlogging, for someone doing content. So you got a one lens for vlogging, because it is wide enough to handheld and shoot yourself with, but also for products and close-up shots as well. Yeah, I keep saying that the 20 to 60mm gives you pretty much everything you need in one lens. And can you get cinematic footage with it? Possibly, yeah. It all depends on how you film and how you color grade. I don't think that the wide aperture and the blurred background is necessarily definition of what makes the footage cinematic. I think this works very well for video. Is this lens good for vlogging? I'm filming with it now, and yeah, the wideness, the 20mm wideness is good enough to show your surroundings as well as yourself when you're talking to the camera pretty well. It definitely, even though it's not stabilized lens, the camera's IBIS, in this case S5II's IBIS, is good enough to hold the camera in your hand by the lens while talking like this, to get a good vlogging type of shot. Good news for all of you filmmakers is that there's virtually no focus breathing visible either. I'd say rather rare with the lens in this class. The build, it is the same look and construction as all the S primes, and there's some of the zooms as well. Very simple, slick looking. 67mm filter thread, the same as with most of Lumix lenses. Just one switch, the simple auto manual focus switch. Small focus ring. This is a standard with all current lenses, modern lenses, focused by wire. This means that speed of focusing will depend on the speed and velocity of you turning that ring. But that with Lumix cameras, with all Lumix cameras currently, you can't change that to linear, so it behaves more like a cine or a vintage lens. So it will work predictably when your focus turns or focus pulls can be measured or repeated. No stabilization built in, but it is weather sealed against light rain, splash and dust. The lens extends quite a bit when you're zooming in. Yeah, not a massive issue unless you tend to film on a gimbal, because when you zoom in you will have to rebalance because it will be slightly more front heavy. Price wise, this is a weird one, because on its own this lens actually is not cheap. It is expensive for what it is. Here in UK it retails for £620 or about $600 on its own. But this lens comes, as I said before, it comes very often bundled with a camera. And when you buy a camera and this lens together, very often you can buy it for just £200 or $200 plus the camera cost. I don't actually think anyone bought this lens on its own and overpaid. Just like me, probably if you got this lens, you got it with a camera because it was just slightly more expensive. The camera was slightly more expensive to get this. Is it making good value for money? On its own, totally not. With a camera, absolutely. And it's a lens that you should use definitely more to shoot with, because it is a lens, in my opinion, excellent for pretty much everything. Not excellent, but good for everything. And if you're wondering where I'm filming this video at, I'm actually at Dubrovnik in Croatia, Old Town Dubrovnik. Conclusion, is this the lens to buy on its own? I don't think so. In my personal opinion, you should get this. You probably did get this lens with your camera. If you do, you're getting a dirt cheap 20 to 60mm. It's a very good, versatile, good performer lens that is pretty much good for everything, especially travel, architecture, landscape and vlogging and everything else in between. It's a lens that can deliver. Despite that small aperture f3.5 to f5.6, it can still deliver very good results, and it does. It's a lens that I'll definitely be using more, and it's definitely a better lens than I thought it was. So if you do have it, use it. And this is it from me. If this video was in some way helpful, informative, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, follow me on Instagram, and thank you for watching. See you next time. There's always noise to spoil my video. This lens delivers very well, very good results. And I walked into the poop. Yeah, this man. Thank you, man, for making so much noise. Conclusion, is this lens to buy on its own? I don't think so, but if you go with a camera like me, you probably did get it from the guy with the camera. And the bells are ringing again. Yes, kids, if you ever think about recording on the streets of any town, don't bother.